Hello, everyone. I am going to explain models for advice and obligation. So in that way, you can use them when instructing or recommending things. Now, it is important that you take into account that we always have exceptions and that native speakers, they not always follow the grammar rules. Good. So let's start. And if after watching this video you have questions or you want to know more about the topic, please just let me know. Now we have different models to express obligation or necessity. For example, we have to, must, and need to. For example, you have to buy a ticket to board a plane. In that case, it's an obligation because if you do not buy the ticket, you are not allowed to board the plane. You must carry your passport before traveling. This is a must, this is a necessity, and obligation. This is a bit stronger than have to. And need to. You need to be 21 to buy cigarettes in an airport. It's a necessity, right? If you're not 21, you cannot do this. And regarding models for advice, we have should for advice and suggestion. For example, you should buy cool clothes before visiting Brazil. Now, we have should as a suggestion because it is not a must, it is not an obligation or a necessity. You can take with you whatever type of clothes when visiting Brazil, but this is a suggestion. It would be better for you if you do that. Okay, now should. Remember the pronunciation should. We do not pronounce the letter L and we just say should. We use should mainly to give advice, recommendations, and to talk about no strong obligation. For example, you should wear warm clothes in Mexico during winter. You should carry sunscreen when going to the beach. As you can see, this is not a strong obligation and it is not a need or a necessity. Then we have must. Must. Remember the pronunciation? Must. And in general, must expresses personal obligation. It's usually when you say like what you think, right? That's why it says like personal. It's like subjective. For example, you must visit us soon. Is something I suggest, and I am using must. This is very common in spoken conversations. He must work harder. That's like my opinion. That's why we say it is subject because it's like what I think. We also use must for strong obligations. It's different from should because the obligations we refer when we use must, they are very strong or they can be considered a necessity. For example, passenger must not talk to the driver. You must do that. It's the law. Yes. So we say it's the law. It's a must. You have to do that. You have no choice. Yes. So remember we had those two different uses when using must. To express a personal obligation, like something it's like your opinion. Yes. He must work harder. Or to express also strong obligations. You must carry your passport when traveling. Then we have to, and that's pretty easy to pronounce. I consider have to good. Now, we often use have to say that something is obligatory. In general, have to expresses impersonal obligation. It's like the obligation is not an opinion or idea. It's something out there. It comes from outside, right? For example, we have in France, you have to drive on the right. Now, different from must, remember that we also use must when the obligation is like an opinion, like I don't know, you must work harder. And this is not an opinion, it's something out there. Remember, it comes from the outside. In England, most school children have to wear a uniform. It is something from the outside. It is not an opinion. And finally, we have need to. We use need to when expressing responsibilities, obligations, and necessity. For example, you don't need to go shopping as I've already gone. Right? You need to be 21 or over to enter that pub. As you can see, in several cases, we can use the same modal and it is the same. For example, here we can say, you have to be 21 or over to enter that pub. It's because it is like an external or an obligation that comes from the outside. Or we can say, you must be 21 because there is no other choice. It's a strong obligation. So they are similar, and in some cases, we can use different models in the same sentence. But we have small differences. So in some cases, depending on the sentence, it is more appropriate to use one than the other. That would be it. So if you have any question or if you want to know more about the topic, please just let me know. Thanks for watching.